Family, how's everybody doing today? Hope everyone is doing well today. The Kada Scott ending is not looking good, family. It's really not. Um, we getting ready to talk about it and new charges for the parents of the 6-month-old in Clayton County in Georgia, Nakai. It's new charges for them as well. And there's some new update on London Thomas. So we're gonna let everybody get in first before we finish. And then in the meantime, we can go ahead on and put our disclaimer on. Yes. Salute to the family. Salute to the family. This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyrights Acts in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yes, fair use. All rights and credits go directly to its rightful owner. This video is purely for fair use, opinion, and entertainment. Enjoy. And we also want to add that everything in this video is alleged. Yes. Yes, family. What's going on? What's going on, family? So good to see y'all. Hope everybody is doing well on this Sunday. Hope everybody is having a good Sunday as well. Yes. Hope everyone is having a good Sunday. And I want to give a shout out to all our subscribers, our new subscribers, our old subscribers. Just thank y'all so much. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are not a subscriber already. But it's not looking good for the ending of Kada Scott. It's heartbreaking. Yesterday they did find a female in the woods, not here. They won't say that it's Kada Scott. They letting the, autopsy coroner and all them do that part of it. But it's not looking good at all because they said that female had been in that wooded area for about a week or less than a week. But really, nobody will really know exactly how long that female been over there until the coroner says something or the autopsy says it. Okay. Shout out to Super Wave. Hello, hello, hello. Sharon Cannon. Hello, hello. Clay G Beats in the house. Hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing? So let me just say this because I kind of want to go in order before I get to the police finding a female yesterday about 10 o'clock a.m. Very heartbreaking, whether it's Kada or not, it's just heartbreaking either way it go because it is a female that they found. So my thing is this here Keon. See, it's something real fishy about this here blowfish face. He was let out on a $250,000 bond. He paid the $25,000 cash to get out of there, which is amazing. Very, very alarming that he was able to pay that $25,000. And a lot of people say, where did he get the $25,000 from? Well, it'll take too long for me to talk about it in this video, but we will discuss it in the future. Oh yeah, Kaden, you already know. I don't think Kaden know that we do you know, look at stuff like that. But Mike Anderson, hello. If it was a male, it wouldn't be as heartbreaking. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will, because I'm getting ready to talk about 3 males in this here video that is very heartbreaking that we have lost. Oh, yeah. 3 black males that we have lost. Very heartbreaking. So, yes, it is heartbreaking. And I'm going to talk about their story after I finish talking about Kada. Okay. Happy Sunday, everyone. LCL in the house. Shout out to the moderator. Shout out to the moderator in the house. Why Me 4? Shout out to you. Says happy Sunday, Cafe, and everyone in the chat. Happy Sunday to you too, Why Me 4. Yes, happy Sunday to all of y'all. But anyway, let me say this right here, because Clayton he paid that $25,000 cash to get out. And I'm going to let y'all hear some of what the DA said about that, okay? And there's a short clip of Keon kind of trying to break in his ex-house, as y'all see in the middle there. He was trying to break in a house a couple of months ago. They said it was around January or whatever. And that's the female that did press charges on him. But when she pressed charges on him and he went to jail, he was right out by paying $25,000 cash. So when it came time for court, the female was like, he got out that fast. I don't know if he gonna get out again. I don't know if they gonna hold him. So therefore, she didn't even show up for that court date, which made Keon's case be dropped. That's the first female that he harassed. He have 3, okay? 1 still have him on a restraining order right now until 2028. He also did this to another female who has a restraining order against him until 2028. Then you have the one that he tried to break into her house, and that's the one that put charges on him. And then he got out very quickly on that $25,000 cash. It was $250,000 bail, but he was able to pay the $25,000 cash up front and got out. And then this happens to Kada Scott. Okay, so very heartbreaking to hear and know. So let's talk about that right there, because I want y'all to check out these videos of him, because y'all will see that the Philly DA, he discusses it. And let me show y'all these here videos right quick. Let me show y'all this right here. On him, because this is what he did to the chick.
Hey bitch, don't come over here. Get her, call the cops.
That was the first victim. Look at him.
It's all these kids here. Call the cops, you dumb bitch. He comes around the window. Go that way, camera.
He creepy.
Yeah, bitch, go away, bye. Go away, bye. Yup, bye. Bye. Keon over here.
Okay, so as y'all see, wow. That was the chick that he was trying to get up out that house. That's the one that what happened was when he did this right here and tried to go to her house and was trying to get inside of her house, it was like an hour later, she thought he was gone. So she went outside and there he was. That's when he grabbed her, pulled her inside of his car. He also had his 2-year-old child in that car that he was grabbing her to get inside of. And of course, he was windmilling on her and doing some things to her. And she so happened to get away. And when she got away, that is when she made that police report. And that's when they arrested him. But then he posts that bail, that $25,000 cash bond very quickly. Okay. Now, don't get this mixed up. It wasn't no $2,500 cash bond. It was a $25,000 cash bond because his bond was $250,000. So he paid 10% and he got out very quickly, less than a day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. As soon as she opened that door, he grabbed her and it was ball game after that, And, but if this young lady had went to court, this most likely would not have happened to Kada, So check this out as well.
Keon King has an active protection from abuse order against him, recently from a third young female, in effect until 2027. That's in addition to the multiple kidnapping and related charges he's being held on $2.5 million bail on now in the disappearance of Kada Scott and the prior kidnapping case from earlier this year that was dismissed initially by the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. It was refiled this week after King's arrest in the Kada Scott case. Philadelphia police sources tell me this video, posted on social media and shared widely following King's arrest this week, is part of the evidence in the first kidnapping case, dismissed by the DA's office, showing him walk up to the victim's window. Law enforcement sources tell me King was also a suspect in a prior rape case involving yet another woman, adding more to their belief that King has a pattern of very bad behavior with women. Mm-hmm. Sources tell me investigators found Kada's glasses, her iPad case, and her cell phone case, along with her bank card, in the search of this no longer used Philadelphia public school building yesterday. That's 2.5 miles, mostly down Stanton Avenue, from where she worked and was last seen. While King hasn't been as cooperative as detectives would like, sources tell me the young man that she was on a date with the night she was last seen did cooperate. She went on a date here to Top Golf Saturday night, arriving home at 9:45 p.m., just 5 minutes before her mother saw her leave for work. That young man told police how easily approachable Kada is, based on how he met her by just rolling down his car window, and was able to easily strike up a conversation with her. This is day 12 of Kada not being
The Real Rap Show. Salute.
Desperation rules. Kada's father on Good Day Philadelphia for the second straight morning, hoping to keep the public on alert for her, brought his 2 brothers with him, hoping to reach the person who may know King and may know what happened after police say she got into King's car. There's one person out there that is a good friend of his that, has a heart, and understands the severity of this and speaks up. Dad Kevin Scott wearing his daughter's name on his hooded sweatshirt over his heart, hoping someone watching with a good heart will hear him. Let my daughter go. Bring my daughter back home. She has loved ones, family, friends that all care about her. She has a bright head on the shoulders, a great future. People make mistakes. If she's alive and breathing, just get her back home. We want her home. At the criminal justice.
Okay, so shout out to The Real Rap Show. He said, hey, Cafe, his father is a Philadelphia police detective. You know what? I can believe that, because it's a lot going on. I did see a lot in Keon's background that I was tripping off of, and I would most likely be able to go over that probably in the next video, but it's a lot going down with Keon. Yeah, it is. It's a lot going on with Keon there. Wow. Salute. And y'all check out the Real Rap Show because he does a awesome job in stories like this with Kada Scott as well. LCL said that was very creepy. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Just salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. And I do want to tell the trolls, like I always tell y'all, you know, I do appreciate you giving Cafe the click, the views, the likes, and all that stuff like that. But what we will not do is have you trolling in the chat. I done told y'all I am very good at that delete button. Okay. So please don't come over here with that. Please don't. The Real Rap Show said, thanks, Cafe. Oh, anytime, because brother, you doing the thing. You hear me? I seen you was grinding all through the Diddy trial. You was grinding all well before that. He goes very deep, family. He really does. So go check him out. Awesome content. Real awesome content. So thank you, The Real Rap Show, for even coming by and stopping by today. Yes. Yes, moderators be on point. Yes. Now, Susan, don't nobody want to read those trolls. Yeah. Oh, no problem. The Real Rap Show, no problem. But yeah, I just want to say that, and I'm glad that the Real Rap Show did say that part about you know, his father is most likely a detective, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of stank going on in here. I can tell you that. It's a lot of stank going on, and we don't like it. We definitely don't like it because we gonna keep the pressure on Keon. We don't care who his daddy is, his mama is, his grandmama is. We don't care nothing about none of that. You know what I'm saying? No, dog, we really don't. You gonna stay up in there because we gonna keep the pressure on them. It's gonna be hot. The pressure's gonna be hot. Now, my thing is, check out what this DA said as well, family, about him getting out on bond. And what he really is doing here is trying to convince the women that if they come forth, because they feel like it's more women and victims out there, you know, that probably has failed to their demise in his hand. Because something is saying, Kada is not the first one. He was just too good at it, the way he was trying to do it. And then he tried to put that old raggedy car on sale on the Facebook marketplace as well. Okay, so he was trying to get rid of all type of evidence, and he was doing it real smooth. Then he tried to turn himself in. My thing, well, he didn't try, he did. He turned himself in, but it's giving a real strategic move. Okay, it's that, okay, y'all don't have no body, so I most likely won't do that much time, or y'all don't have no surveillance or none of that time me to her, so I probably won't get that much time on that end either. So y'all most likely won't find the body, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn myself in because y'all really don't have nothing to pinpoint me on, but that y'all think that I kidnapped her and that she was the last one with me, even though her phone was pinging with him at the time. But I think he thought he would kind of get away with it if they never find that body. Okay? So he was being real slick when he turned himself in. That's most likely what Blowfish was thinking at the time. That's my opinion. Okay? But check out what this DA said, because what he was saying is he don't want women to think that if they come forward, that Keon would get out. He's going to make sure he said that Keon does not get out. So check it out.
In the media. First of all, I want you to understand that when this case began, it was when this case began, well, let me rephrase that. There's been some discussion about a prior case involving defendant Keon King, involving a different victim, a case that ended at the preliminary hearing. And there has been discussion about some of the events that occurred there. There is no doubt that there's a list of people in this office, outside of this office, and no, it doesn't matter who they are, but there's a list of people who made a lot of good decisions and a couple decisions that could have been made better. That could have been better, right? There's certainly that has been discussed. But we also can't skip over some of the systemic issues here that are not small. This is a case in which, in the prior matter, we requested $1 million bail. $1 million minus $1 bail, and we did not get it. We don't set bail, judges do. The bail was set at $200,000. Why? Well, probably.
Okay, y'all heard that. His first case that he did that to that girl, they said they requested for his bail to be set at $1 million, but they did not do that. They set it at $200,000, and that's when he paid the $25,000, 10% to get out. Okay, so check it out.
Because the commissioner who set the bail probably imagined that was enough to hold Keon King in custody. It wasn't. Keon King had access to a lot of money, and so he paid $20,000 bail almost immediately and was out of custody as a consequence of that, right? This is the problem with cash bail. This is what we've been talking about for a long time. It's not just whether or not he's in custody immediately. It's also, what is the situation of a victim who has to go to court, a victim of domestic violence who has to go to court, knowing that the defendant will walk out the same door she came in. What is the situation? How likely is that victim to come to court if that victim knows that that victim is dealing with a profoundly dangerous, profoundly violent person? And we all know the answer. That victim is more likely to walk in the door of the courthouse and testify if that victim knows that the defendant can't walk out right behind him if he's locked up. Well, he wasn't locked up here. And so, sadly, what happened was there were two court dates, at the first of which the judge announced that it must be tried next time. And the victim did not arrive on both of those occasions. An eyewitness did not arrive on both of those occasions. I don't say that to say that's the whole story, but it's not. But it is part of the story. And it is a part of the story that would be remedied if we got away from this, frankly, nutty notion that bail is a good way to deal with these situations. Someone profoundly dangerous should be held. I don't care if they've got a lot of money. Someone who's not dangerous at all shouldn't be held. I don't care if they're poor. That should have nothing to do with this. Money should be divorced from determining who stays in custody, as has been done in the District of Columbia and many other states. It is a successful system. Now, without pointing a finger at any individual, I am pointing a finger at the cash bail system because its role in this is frankly very problematic. I also want you to know that there has been, and there continues to be, extensive victim support and outreach to the victim in the first case. That's just a fact. And we will continue to do that. Some of it I cannot even speak about because it will be inappropriate for me to talk about some of the measures that this offer protection. And not yesterday, a long time ago, okay? I don't want anyone to believe or to think that our victim services people and others who do specialized work in that field don't care. because they care deeply. They've done a lot. They've done things that, just like the investigation, it would be improper for me to talk about. But perhaps we can talk about it when this case is concluded or at a later time. We can't necessarily do that.
So, y'all basically hear what he is saying, that he do want people to come forth. He will say more of that in a minute. He just have about 2 more minutes left. I just wanted to say I started laughing at Aunt Esther. He looks unbalanced. Yes. It's something else. Salute to all of y'all. Elder Matt, salute. Bad Bunny, salute. Imagine buying that car not knowing it was just on the news. I know, right, Bad Bunny? I know, right? Wow. He didn't care. Carla Henry. Salute. Yes, salute. But yeah, so just imagine that. I'm with you on that. He put it on that Facebook Marketplace. And for someone, but it was all beat up. But I guess some people, they need something. They probably would have just bought it just to get them to point A to point B, not knowing the history of that car. And then they would have been pulled in some mess driving around in that car. You know what I'm saying? But just check out the last 2 minutes. I just wanted to say salute to y'all right quick for the ones who had joined in.
Finally, I just want to say this before we hear from Representative Carroll and then move to Q&A. We are encouraging, we are asking other victims of this defendant, Keon King, the gentleman to your left, my right, we are encouraging you to come forward. We have information to indicate that there may have been other victims. We are asking you to come forward. Contact our...
Now, y'all heard that? He said, and this DA guy is very, very adamant about, he is most likely, for sure, there are more victims than the 3 we know about. The first girl who has the restraining order on him until 2028. Then the second one that we saw that he was running around her house trying to get her up out of that house. But then an hour later, when she goes outside, he kidnaps her and grabs her, okay, with his 2-year-old son in the car. Then the third one is Kada Scott. And he's saying they are most likely, for sure, there's more victims out there. They just need people to speak up. Now, whether those victims are able to speak up, we don't know. That's their detective work to do. But they really feel like it's more out there.
Office. Contact the Philadelphia Police Department. Some portion of this has already happened after the last press conference. We are asking you to protect others by coming forward. And we are telling you that all the resources of this city will be at your disposal to make sure that you are safe in this situation. Keon King is in jail now. He's in jail on, $2.5 million bail? A sum of money he's not able to come up with, despite the fact that he has access to money. You do not have to worry about his coming out of the courthouse door right behind you, because he's not coming out of that courthouse door right behind you. And if I have my way, he's not going to be coming out of a prison door either. Okay.
So, he's asking everybody to come forward if they can. Now, yes, they're trying to sell that raggedy beat up car. And how did that car get like that anyway? What was going down when he did that to that car anyway? That's another thing that I want to know. But it just worries me that they found a female yesterday. They won't say that it's Kada Scott, but it's leaning that way. Very seriously it is. He won't cooperate. Then her items was found at the school, that abandoned school. And then where they found this female at is right behind that abandoned school. Okay. And I'm going to let y'all check out some of what, they said on that. He has a history of physically and seriously hurting women. He have a history of that. He really do. So it's been 2 weeks. Kada hadn't been heard from, hadn't been seen. And then yesterday about 10 a.m., they go back there behind that abandoned school and they found a female back there. Not here anymore. That's sad. The police said that they got credible tips, but we're going to lead them to where the female was found at. Okay. So check out this right here, but I want y'all to see this part right here too. This old here backyard trash. Backyard trash. Now, my thing is, why was he running around that girl's house like Jason, like Michael Myers? Please tell me, because when he jumped that fence, y'all seen him? When he jumped that fence, he was standing there and he was looking, and then he was walking up to her door. See, all this right here says that this boy here is very, very unhinged. He walked up, jumped over that fence, and came walking towards her window just like Michael Myers. My thing is, see, that shows that the whole family, most likely of his, is unhinged. I'm sorry. Let's just go and get it out in the opening, okay? Because once this video, the family seen this, his family know this boy. They know he about unhinged. They raised the boy, okay? You ain't gonna tell me you ain't seen no type of signs that something is off in this boy. So when they spent $25,000 cash to get him out, why they didn't put that money on him some help? Why they didn't put that money on him to get evaluated? Why they didn't put that money on him to go somewhere and get some type of treatment? You could tell the boy is off. We seen him when he looked through the window. Dead soul. He got a dead soul. You ain't gonna tell me that his family was around him for 21 years. They say he 21 years old. You ain't gonna tell me they was around him for 21 years and didn't see that the boy was off key. That he was 5 cans short of a 6-pack. You ain't gonna tell me that family didn't see that. But they could spend $25,000 to get him up out of there. Because I don't think he saved the 25 grand. Now they say he was a small time little toxic candy dealer around town. Yeah, they said he sold a little toxic candy around the Philly area around in there. But hey, he wasn't saving no money. You know how I know he wasn't saving no money? It says it right here in the mugshot. His doggone locks was dried up with no sheen, no fresh dew, no nothing. He just done let himself go. So now he wasn't saving no 25 grand. That's what let me know he wasn't saving it. All you got to do is look at him. He's unkept. Head unkept and his face is unkept. I'm sorry. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the mugshot. Now, let's talk about this right here, because y'all see that he was booked kidnapping for ransom. Y'all know what that means. Who did he call for ransom? I mean, you know, like when you have somebody, then you tell their family member, hey, you give me this, I let this person go. Or you give me this, and I might let this person continue to breathe. Okay? So that kidnapping for ransom kind of got me. Who was that on? Was that on one of his previous women that he did something to? Or was this for Kada Scott? Then you will see the false imprisonment. Then you will see criminal use of communication facility We'll talk about that. Then you will see that he was doing all the stalking, repeating, committing acts to cause fear, reckless endangerment, endangering another person. And that has a lot to do with his son being inside of his car when he got the first victim. Okay? Tampering with, evidence, basically. Okay? And fabricating. So, that communication charge that he got, it says that a criminal use of communication facility is a crime that involves using a telephone, email, text message, the internet, or mail to commit, facilitate, or plan a felony. So it's saying that most likely he was using his phone or email or something like that to basically do felonies. Okay. And that could be anything. That could be that, they said he was allegedly a little small time dealer around there. It could be that they saw that he was trying to make connections through that. That he was trying to set up women through that. Communications through email, text, and all that stuff. Because remember we talked about he was using a text now app that don't identify your telephone number and tell who you are. Okay. So that's a lot of charges that he have on that as well. So, and that's the DA that was talking about him. So now you come to the point that they found a female yesterday. And it's not looking good. As y'all will see, it's believed to be the beauty queen, Kada Scott. Wow. So let's listen to that as well. I'm going to give y'all a shout out right quick one more time. Thank you, LCL and TS. Thank y'all so much. Awesome moderators in the house. Awesome moderators in the house. Yes, Sharon Elliott. Salute. TS says that sounds like lockup for life. Yeah, it does. It really does. Girls missing. It's just sad. It's sad. It's real sad. How do you know that his parents didn't get him any help? This person said, what's that? Kada Sherman or whatever said, how do you know that his parents didn't get him any help? Obviously, he paid the bail. You know how I know they didn't get him no help? Because he was still out. Because if they had got him some help, his evaluation would have showed he don't need to be out. He don't need to be out. He would have been having to spend a lot of time in the facility. Yeah. That's how you know. That's how you know. You know how else we know? Is when he ran up into that lady's yard, jumped that fence, and then went up to her window with a dead soul looking in his eyes. That's how we know. Yeah. Darlene Chestnut, salute. Thank you so much for your generosity. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Kada, Jaya, whatever, Sherman, that's how we know. That's how we know. Okay? That's how we know. Yes. And we dealt with people like this. That's how we know. Yeah. Because he was running around after he did that to that young lady, when he jumped that fence looking like Michael Myers. He should have been in a facility right after that. Once that charge was dropped, because that chick did not show up to court, he should have been in the facility. And how we know he didn't go in the facility? Because he would have been still there. They would have been able to detect what we just detect by looking at him while he was looking through a window. I hope that answered your question. Yes. And salute to you. Salute. Good question. I'm glad you asked that question because I really needed to answer that. Uh yes. So and thanks again. Shout out to Darlene Chestnut. And we so glad you caught this live, Darlene. Because Darlene sometimes be like, I missed a live. Yes. So anyway, y'all, before I was rudely interrupted by the person asking me that, but I am glad that they asked that question. I really am, because they needed to hear that. The boy's soul is gone. We seen that. When anybody that walk across that yard looking like Michael Myers, something is totally off. Okay. And then come to the window, we seen his eyes, dead soul. The boy got a dead soul. A test at a facility that helps people like that would have easily detected. And I could guarantee you he wouldn't have been let out. So let's go to what they said about this female that they found.
I just want to give you an update on the case regarding a 23-year-old Kada Scott.
This is the police.
A little bit of a somber and grateful moment here.
He did this when they found the female yesterday.
Based on tips that have come in over the past few days, as we called on earlier this week, asking for the public to provide any information, any tips, and the public has been fantastic in providing tips and information. I greatly appreciate that. Based on a tip that came in last night through the night, investigators began the process of following up on that tip this morning, starting around 10 o'clock.
He talking real low, family.
And the tip was very specific that led us back to this location here today, which you all know we were out here earlier in the week doing a little bit of a search. And so based on the investigative information, based on the investigation and what they were following up on that tip today, led us back to this area behind the school, where it's a wooded area. I don't know if any of you have been back there, but it's a wooded area that goes beyond the school. And so we began to go back into that area where we would locate a shallow grave after being able to remove some of the debris back there, able to locate the body of a human being. All indications at this point is that it's a female. We are not going to confirm at this point that it is Miss Kada Scott, because that has to be done by the medical examiner's office.
Okay. So he just said that, they can't say that it's her. That has to be done by the medical examiner office. Okay. But it ain't looking good. Okay. But now the tips, he said they got a tip that led them to that spot. Now I want y'all to check this out, because a lot of the community that was that abandoned school, a lot of the people in the community was doing searches, their own volunteer search. And so Friday night, they be searching from sun up to sundown trying to find Kada Scott, especially when they said that they found her debit card and cell phone case and all that stuff in or around that abandoned middle school. So the community got together and they started just doing volunteer searches. Okay. And they did it up until kind of late Friday night. And when they did it late Friday night, they said, some of them said that they ran into right behind the school by the woods, right over in this area right here, family, behind off in there, where you see those bushes. Wait a minute, y'all can't see the bushes. Where you see those bushes, they said that right over in here is where they seen a board, like a big old slab of board. And they said they moved the board and then it was like maggots coming out of it. but you couldn't see. It was like a little shadow grave. So they started screaming, right? And so they instantly called the police. When they called the police Friday evening, when they found it, the police didn't come out there. They waited until the next morning, which was yesterday, at 10 a.m. and to go out there and go where the public and the community said they saw maggots coming up out the ground, and they said it was a funny smell. And that's where the police found this female up under this shadow grave, up under fresh dirt. Okay? So, I want y'all to hear what they said. I want y'all to see what they said on that part right there. Because I was I was tripping on how they said it.
On October 4th, after she showed up for her overnight shift at a nursing home in Chestnut Hill. Keon King has since been charged with kidnapping her, and police fear the 21-year-old could have other victims.
Yesterday, second floor, we knocked that window down.
Now that's the community.
First floor, cut the locks off.
Neighbors and volunteers say they searched this exact area last night for hours. They tell NBC 10 they found what looked like fresh dirt and feel police could have found the body sooner. Some screamed and yelled at investigators for a while tonight.
Number one, fresh dirt under a board. So we began to try to dig with our hands.
Yes, we did.
I see maggots under and in the ground. There's also a strange smell coming from the ground.
Now you heard that guy? He said when he saw it, he pulled that board and he said that's when he saw the maggots. And then when he saw those, it was a funny smell. And I guess he had some old people with him, some old females, and they all started screaming. It was fresh dirt over it. And they started running and they instantly called the police. Okay. But then when they didn't come that night. They waited till 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's why the community was mad and screaming at the police the next morning, because they was like, we called y'all last night. And he did say, the police chief did say, we got a tip late last night, what led us to this area. And so, they had searched that area earlier this week, remember, because that's how they found belongings that belong to Kada Scott. Okay, they just didn't see that area, I guess. That's a big wooded area, though. I mean, you have to say that. That's a big wooded area. So, see, that's a big wooded area. That is a big wooded area. But she was, where my pen at? Hold on, family. Okay, family, I'm back. But thank y'all for just hanging in there with y'all sister. But she was off in here, like this is a trail. And then she was off in here, in this area right here. Okay. That's kind of like a courtyard there, but she was right off in here, right behind off in there. Okay. As y'all will see, the medical examiner and everybody else, the police and everybody was out there in that area. It was a lot of people out there as well. The community, y'all see the community was out there because they was fussing and they was arguing at the police about, we called y'all last night and y'all didn't come until that morning, and things like that. So the police chief said he understands their frustration, but he also said that they have been putting out a lot of resources for the past 2 weeks trying to find Kada. Okay. But I do want to say that I know a lot of people was frustrated and upset, but we also have to look at the fact that we are getting Black people, women and men, are getting more attention when they're coming up missing. So we really don't want to kind of just stomp on the law enforcement toes a whole lot, because we are getting more justice, more attention, more searches, and all that stuff than ever. And a lot of that got to do with a lot of content creators that keep putting pressure when it comes to stories like this. They keep putting pressure on everybody, law enforcement, the community, whoever did it, them folks' family. Social media is putting a lot of pressure so that our people can have the same type of searches as other people get. And so far, it's not all the way there yet, but so far we have seen a little bit of a difference with law enforcement coming out and searching in mass numbers, okay? We've seen it in little Nakai, the 6-month-old baby. We've seen it in Kada Scott. We've seen it in a lot of other, cases that somewhat like this. We've seen that they are coming out kind of heavy right off bat because the pressure. And yes, most of the time the family has to kick it off. And once the family kick it off, social media then help kick it off some more. And then they have no choice a little bit but to start doing what they're supposed to do, which is find our loved one. Okay? Find our brother or sister. So, I can understand that. Let me Carla Henry, salute. Yeah, that's what I said, Carla Henry. You're right. I said the families have been kicking it off. And that's why we're so glad we have social media, because the family kicks it off. And once that family kicks it off and be like, hey, this right here is happening to my loved one, same thing with the Car Thompson. It was the same thing. Her family kicked it off. In this case, Kayla's family was kicking it off, And then in 6-month-old Nakai, over there in Clayton County, it was the community that kicked that off. And then, social media jumped right in line to help them, and there's other stories out here that other social media platforms and things like that are taking those stories, because one content creator can't cover all these type of stories. So you have a lot of different content creators that are covering different cases like this, bringing awareness and attention to stories like this. And then it takes y'all as well, that y'all be in the chat, y'all be in comment sections, y'all be spreading the word. So salute to the whole community. Salute to all of y'all. Salute to all the content creators. Salute to social media. Just salute, because we have to say it has gotten not much better, that the law enforcement have no choice but to come out and treat our case just like they treat other cases. They ain't got all the way there to 100% yet, but it's there. Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted y'all to, hear that part right there. So, but I just want us to focus on getting Keon to where he don't get out, but that was the area. And like I said, it was where these police vehicles are, and the coroner's vehicle is right up in this tree. It was right by this bush right here, right up against this bush on the other side. That's where that female was found. Yeah. That's where the female was found. Yeah, so that was it. We won't know, I guess, until the autopsy and all that stuff come out. is if the female they found yesterday is Kada Scott. And to me, it looks like it's her. You know? It does. So that's just sad. That's just sad. So we wishing, you know, our heart goes out to her mom, our heart goes out to her dad, her whole family, her friends, relatives. Our heart goes out to all of them. Okay? You know, it really does. Thank you, TS, for deleting that, whatever it is. And you know, it's just like I say, if our moderators delete you, you got to be saying something that they ain't feeling. And I do it too. I'm just, you know, I'm just focused on talking about this right now. But I normally go back and look at it. And then moderators LCL and TS, if y'all want to block them, you know, for 80 something minutes or whatever, go ahead on and block them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of gutter trash. You know, I'm already looking at a gutter trash on the right side of the screen. I really don't have time for troll gutter trash. I really don't. And then the sad part is that trolls are damn near like Keon. They don't even know that the word knowledge before they clicked on here means that we don't play with trolls. You got to have knowledge to come over here. So obviously they about 5 cans short of a 6-pack too. And y'all hit that like button, please. Thank you. And subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Yes. So, but, you know, just shout out and we'll stay, we'll stay on top of this to see if they positively identify her or not, you know, if it's her or if it's not her. You know, if it's not her, it's still an alarming situation. It was a female back there. Okay. So, I'm also going to do a video on Keon. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on Keon. We're going to have to check out Keon. It's a lot going on with Keon that really stinks like skunk meat. Yes, it's a lot going on with this blowfish face. Yes, and we're going to put it together. And then we're going to do him just like we did the Cowboy 6 and just like we did the Birmingham 8 and everybody else who are trifling and take people and delete people. Yes. So he is no exception to the rule. Anyway, next. These two right here. What is wrong with is they not selling the all sheen no more family? If they not selling the all sheen and the grease. You remember when we used to have the ultra sheen grease? I mean, some type of Vaseline, some type of something for our heads around here. I am so tired of talking to these people about how their head is looking dried up, matted up, nappy duck out, all that. Come on, people. Let's do better with our head. All these people, they found $6,000 in this here man on the far right house when he got caught. He had $6,000 in his house, and he said it was his stash house, and his head looking terrible. And then that's his old sidekick lady right there. Her head looking terrible. We needs to do better. We really do. Now, if they not selling this stuff, they sell it in the Walmarts and stuff that I be going to. All you got to do is walk a little bit. You'll find it. I'm so tired of these dried up ass head people. I don't know what to do now. We got to get better with our heads around here. Keon walking around with dried up head. Lord. And that's another thing about Keon. Because hold on 1 minute. That's another thing about him. Because see, Kada, she was at the Top Golf with another guy, right? The same day she disappeared. Now, she was at Top Golf, and they do show where she either put it on her social media or the dude that she was with, a whole nother separate dude. Now, it wasn't him. It was not. It wasn't Keon. It was a whole nother dude. She went out on a date. And that same day, she went to Top Golf with a guy. I guess she was digging and liking, and she didn't want to be about bothered with Keon. But she put it on social media because I saw it. They showed her she was swinging the golf club, and she missed, and then she started laughing or whatever. I don't know if it was that day she was at Top Golf or was it another day she was at Top Golf, but they did show a video of her at Top Golf. And she was looking very nice too, hair laid, all that stuff. And she was just grinning and laughing and everything. So she went to that Top Golf. And I wonder, that she didn't want to be bothered with Keon no more. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, that's what it's given. Okay. And did he see that same day? And then he kind of lured her out of her job space, and she thinking she gonna run outside right quick and talk to him, and bam, he got her because he was upset. Because they said that he kept on stalking her social media. He kept on looking and stalking on her social media. And she put up, it's either on her social media or the dude she went to Top Golf with, or either he put it on his social media. But it was out there. So did Keon get mad about that? And then he was slapped furious, and that dead soul of his went on a mission. We're going to soon find all that stuff out. Yeah. And sometimes people, when y'all know that you have somebody is worrying you or calling your phone all the time, and they, you don't want to be bothered with them stuff. Yeah, you do fill out a police report or something like that. That's what Kada should have did, because she was saying somebody was stalking her and worrying her. Most likely it was Keon here, and she should have did a report on him. That's what she should have did, but she probably didn't think he would do what he did, But the thing is when people are like that, and they contacting you, stalking you, stuff like that, you don't go out to talking to them people. No, you don't go or leave your job and talk to them for 5 minutes thinking you could change their mind and all that stuff. I don't think Kada knew the history of Keon, But, yeah. It's sad. It's sad. So I'm just wondering, did he see that she was at Top Golf with another guy that she was digging? And then they said that she went home after Top Golf, changed into her work clothes, and then went to work. So that's when Keon rose up. And then she's not seen anymore. So did he get mad about that Top Golf that she wouldn't go play top golf with him? I'm just asking a question. We'll find out during the trial. Yes. But this right here, y'all, the mother and the father have new charges. Yes, they got new charges. And I just wanted y'all to hear some points that we didn't really know that went down. Okay. So check this out, what they said about the mother and the father who deleted their 6-month-old child. Y'all know we already talked about that right there. But they have new charges, but check out a little bit more evidence that came out. Check it out.
I want to thank the citizens of Clayton County. When this case at the onset sounded as though We would need support in solving it. We got that support, and we got it from the citizens of Clayton County. They were very involved. They were very interested, and they gave us extreme cooperation. We're thankful to them for that.
Now, this is the female. She gonna tell
questions that we can
everything
without compromising said case. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Detective Reynolds, who is the lead investigator on this case.
Now, check out what she say, family.
Thank you, Major. Good morning. On October 12th, 2025, at approximately 8:18 a.m., Clayton County police officers responded to 100 Valley Hill Road in Riverdale in reference to a reported robbery and kidnapping. When officers arrived, they spoke with Antonio Pierce, who reported that he had been robbed at gunpoint and that as suspects fled, they took his 6-month-old child, Nakai Pratt, from his car seat and left in an unknown direction. As detectives began investigating, inconsistencies with Mr. Pierce's account quickly emerged. Based on evidence gathered, investigators determined that foul play was involved and identified Antonio Pierce as a suspect in the disappearance of his son. On the day of the initial report, bloodhounds from Fayette County Sheriff's Office and cadaver dogs from Georgia Piedmont Region Canine Search and Rescue were brought in to search the property and surrounding areas. Those searches lasted several hours but revealed no significant findings. Multiple search warrants were then executed at locations connected to Mr. Pierce, which also yielded no evidence of the child's whereabouts. Detectives continued their efforts into the following day, canvassing the community, collecting surveillance footage, and following every lead. Spalding County Land, Air, and Water Search also volunteered a cadaver dog to assist in the ongoing search for Nakai. On October 14th, as the search continued, detectives focused their attention on the yards of homes near the edges of the apartment complex at 100 Valley Hill Road. During that search, the body of an infant was discovered in the backyard of a home on Green Valley Road. The infant was...
Now, that's what I want y'all to hear. Do y'all know this man here and this backyard Barbie? They put the baby in somebody else's yard. What? Are you serious right now? Boy.
Later positively identified as 6-month-old Nakai Pratt. Antonio Pierce now faces multiple charges, including malice murder, cruelty to children in the first degree, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, tampering with evidence, concealing the death of another person.
Caucasian Debris, thank you so much. Said I just subscribed. Thank you so much. We are sending love and hugs to you, and thank you for joining the Knowledge family. Thank you so much. We all sending out loves and hugs to you. Thank you so much. But yeah, and then you're gonna hear them say that it was
unlawful disposal of a human body, false statements, and false report of a crime. Following further investigation, Nakai's mother, Nicolette Pratt, was also arrested and charged with obstruction of an officer, false statements, and party to a crime. Nakai's twin sister has been placed in the custody of the Department of Family and Children's Services as the investigation continues. While the outcome of this search is not the one any of us hope for, our department remains fully committed to seeking justice in baby Nakai's name. Thank you.
Okay, now watch for the questions she's going to get.
This is an ongoing investigation, so there are some details we are not going to release right now.
Check out.
The cause of death, according to the autopsy, was blunt force trauma.
What?
Because it may be
What? Are you serious right now? Did y'all hear? The cause of the baby's demise is blunt force trauma. Do you know a parent to do that? And it had to been bad. And it was up in the head area, family. Are you serious? Wow. Well, yeah, they got those They got those charges, and hopefully they'll never come out of there. He was also found in a trash bag, family, as well. I don't know where these people here thought they was, but in the South, I know all over the United States, people don't play this right here. It's a lot of people that just not feeling this at all, but in the South, you have that extra mannerism that everybody is a yes, sir, no, sir, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, sir, things like that. So the community came together real hard down there in Georgia, in Clayton County, over there in Atlanta, because this right here is, not nothing that the South and, the Gulf Coast down through the South, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and things like that. They really ain't feeling when you messing with them kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about Southern people that they just get real extra hype. I know a lot of states throughout the United States get hype when things like this happen to a child. But in the South, you have Southern people that get extra hype when you do something to children. Okay. And to show you what I'm talking about, this is what happened. It's a man. He don't even know this baby at all. Don't know the parents, none of that. But he was one of the ones out searching. And he's one of our, elder. And this is what he was saying. He built the cross for the baby in that spot.
It's where Greg Yates came to pray. As I felt that this angel just left this world. We have to have more heart than less hate, so we can live in a better world today.
From the moment I heard that story, I said he did something to that child.
And others like Joy McCrae.
It hurt. It hurts deeply, deeply, deeply. There's no cause for that. You have people that can't even have children. And he said that he deceived the whole community. That is so sad.
Came to reflect, cry.
Well, the point is,
Father God, have mercy on the child and also have mercy on him and her.
So, family, y'all see that old man, he don't know that baby or nothing, but he said it was an angel taken. He said it was an angel taken, and he felt like that baby was supposed to be something, was going to be something, but he just gone. And that man made a cross for that baby. And he painted it, and there you see paint all on his hands, and he put that cross down there, and he set it up real nice, and people started putting little flowers and things like that around. But I'm gonna tell you, I just hope that they put a trash bag in their cell, and they have to lay on that trash bag, like the same type of trash bag they did to baby Nakai. And they got to lay on that trash bed. No bunk beds, none of that. Lay on that trash bag with that baby name on it for the rest of their life. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they need for life. No chance of parole. None of that. None of that. None of that. But word on the streets, they catching hell down there in them. They got to be in isolation down there in Georgia. That's word on the streets now. Yes. And I hope that's right. Sad, sad, sad. So let me go. The update on London. Y'all remember when we did London Thomas story, family? For those who was with us, we did a story on London Thomas. And that was earlier this year that her boyfriend and his mom deleted her. Okay, but they had got off, no charges because it wasn't like enough evidence. Well, finally, they have been charged with deletion. So we did a video on this right here, as y'all will see. It was May the 11th, 2025, where we did talk about London, and that's the boyfriend and that's his mom. Okay. And the new update is they have now been charged with deletion. Okay. As y'all would see, her boyfriend and the mother charged with the teen. She was only 17 years old. And as y'all will see, London Thomas' boyfriend and his mother are facing charges stemming from her deletion. Jalen and Carla Pendergrass are accused of deleting the 17-year-old in Inkster before the body was moved to Southfield, where it was later discovered in a car, family. So when they deleted her, they put her in a car and left her in the car. Okay. And then that's when the police did find her. And they found her because one of Carla's friends led police to that car where the 17-year-old was gone. Okay. They was arrested and charged with second-degree deletion and tampering with evidence. Yes. And Jalen family, he was booked. Y'all ought to see how Jalen was looking around that camp, family. If y'all could only see how he was looking. This boy here was looking like he don't even know what's going on, which he really do know what's going on. But I'm going to let y'all see how he was standing in that courtroom looking real dumbfounded, basically, because I don't think he thought that they would ever get charged for her demise. Now, this is London's mother and her grandmother. And her grandmother had been pleading for help for a long time. And she was saying that that boy and his mother did that to her grandchild. But because they kept getting off, it really wasn't nothing that she can do, but just hope and pray that one day new evidence would come out and it would lead right to them. So let me let y'all hear London's grandmother and the reports about how things fell and why they got charged for London's demise.
London Thomas of Detroit. Investigators say and families say that she was first reported missing on April 5th earlier this year. That day she was last seen being dropped off at 23-year-old Jalen Pendergrass's house in Inkster. Prosecutors' office say that they may have been in a relationship, but allegedly all ended before she arrived at the home. Weeks later, police say April 26th, her body was found in an SUV in the area of Millard Street in Southfield near 8 Mile. Police then go on to say that Pendergrass was named immediately a person of interest. His mother, Charlotte Pendergrass, was charged with lying to a peace officer, but those charges were later dropped. But they say that it was a tip from one of her friends that helped investigators get to the body. This week, both the son and mother, both Pendergrasses, were arrested and charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence, and family tell us they absolutely still can't believe it.
Miss her so much.
That's her grandmother talking.
I miss talking to my grandbaby because she always call me and say, Grandma, I love you. And I miss her. I got her pictured all over my house. And I knew they was going to get him. I am happy. And I want justice for my granddaughter. I want them to get the maximum penalty they can get for my granddaughter. Because when I talked to that mama, I knew she had something to do with it.
So, as y'all see, the grandmama's still hurting from when we did the story in March. Okay. She's still hurting. She said that was her heart. Said London was always around her. Basically, that's who London was staying with. Her mother and father, you know, they hurt as well. That's her father right there. That's London's father. And he was saying that he's so glad that the mother and the son has finally been charged with his daughter's demise. But that grandmother, man, she's just hurting to the core. Yeah, Susan. I feel a grandmama pain too. You could hear it. Yeah, LCL, TS. Yep. Yep. She do look like her grandma, TS. Yep. 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 But just a sad situation. So I just wanted y'all to hear the update that this week that the mother and the son was charged with London's deletion. Look at here. Look at here, family. He got his hand on his chin like, man, I thought we got away with this. It's been since March and wasn't no charges on us. And then all of a sudden, bam. And he got his hand on his chin while his mother is over there trying to plead her way out the thing. No. You two backyard Barbie and Ken. Y'all got to face the music. Y'all gonna stay up in there and y'all gonna go down for doing that to that 17-year-old girl. Okay? Point blank period. Point blank period. He looking dumbfounded. Look at him, family. He did not think that they was going to ever get charged for that. They was really thinking they was going to be able to get up out this, because remind y'all, in March, they got him, but then they just dropped the charges because it wasn't enough evidence. But now they done came up off something that they was able to charge him. Okay. So, and that lawyer was trying to plead for him, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Once again, where is the oil sheen? See, this is what I'm talking about. But you see how she went up in this court this here week and her hair straightened. So did Fifi and them in the jail cell straighten her hair out? That's what I want to know. Yeah, because see, when she first went in there, she didn't know what oil sheen, none of that stuff was. Y'all see on the left, she was looking dried out. Now, look at her over there on the right. And why is it when they get up in these jail cells, they all of a sudden get glasses? Y'all remember the little Chucky girl who did that to her manager? She did her evaluation, and the only thing she came back with on her next court date was a pair of new glasses. I guess she couldn't see. Then here go this here mama. She done been in jail, and all of a sudden she got a pair of glasses. So is all of them blind? What is really going on? I'm just asking the question. But they all look like their souls are gone. They really do. They really do. I'm sorry. But did Fifi and them comb her hair up in there? That's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. Fifi, Yolanda, all of them. They done went in there and did something to her head. Yes, what you had to put on their books for them to do your head? That's what I want to know. Yeah, times are rough up in that camp, ain't it? Yeah, you can already tell. Yeah, look like she getting some act right. She want to come up out of there. She want to come up out of there. Yeah, because Fifi and them on her. That's what it looking like to me. Yes. They did that to that little baby girl. Anyway, family, let's go to the next one. The 3 young men. Yeah, we got to do better. 3 young men, 3 football players. Whoo, Lord. They was in a car with a female, and the female was speeding. Something happened where they ran off the road, and it was all over with. All 3 of them passed away at the same time. The girl is in critical condition. But these 3 guys was high school football players with promising futures. Looked like they was getting ready to go into a nice college and, you know, become something and do something with themselves. It really does. One of their mothers was saying about how they was, you know, on top of their game with grades and all that. These 3 here was high school friends, middle school friends, always was around each other, did well on the football field together. These trio here, they said they was something else on that football field. Great talent. But anyway, they done got in the car with this here girl. She 21. They in high school. And then something happens. And they go off the road. And those three are gone instantly. 3 young, beautiful males. Gone. You know. Wow. This is the chick who's driving. Okay, 21 years old. And I'm gonna let y'all I'll read some of the story first. As y'all see, she was doing excessive speeding. And the driver remains in critical condition, which was her. Her name is Diamond Monroe. She was cited for speeding before. This is not the first time she was caught speeding. Actually, she was caught speeding in August. Okay? Got her a ticket. And then here you go in October, speeding again, and 3 guys lost their lives. As y'all will see right here, 3 high school football players deleted, gone in car crash after leaving practice. Police said that the car the students were in went into the telephone pole and then continued down the sidewalk and then went into a tree. Okay. At around 7:22 p.m. local time on Wednesday, October the 8th, officers went to the emergency medical personnel responded to reports of a single crash. Okay. And that was in Fayetteville. And she was in a 2024 Honda Civic, okay, occupied by all 4 of them, the 3 players and her, okay? And it's just sad. It's just sad. But as y'all will see, she's 21 years old. The guys was 17 and 18 this last year in school. And as y'all will see here, I don't know if y'all can see this right here. But first, I'm gonna do it like this. Y'all probably can't see it, but it says that operating motor vehicle on street or highway at a speed of 51 miles per hour in a 35-mile zone. This was the first time in August when she got that ticket, okay? And as y'all will see right here, when she was speeding, y'all will see it was rain. It was raining. Okay? That was the weather. And she was speeding then. They gave her, it's in North Carolina, TS. And she was speeding. So it seems like, man, when you got a ticket a couple of months prior, that you'll just slow down. Just slow down. But, she got, the boys got in the car with her after practice. I don't know if she was dating one of them or not, but the thing is, maybe she was just all 3 of them good friend. I don't know. Something telling me maybe she dating one of them and pick them up from practice and stuff like that. But anyway, they was headed to her family member's birthday party. Okay. And then they was gone. So listen to this right here about what happened.
News has been pressing the Fayetteville Police Department asking if speed was a factor in this crash. Police say excessive speed was the primary factor. As for the sole survivor, Diamond Monroe, her mother tells me she's on a ventilator. Tonight, Eyewitness News is uncovering new information about 21-year-old Diamond Monroe's driving record. She was the driver of the car in the tragic accident that claimed the lives of 3 E.E. Smith High School students, Nicholas Williams, Trevor Merritt, and Jayon Elliott. Her mother tells us she remains in critical condition and is not walking or talking. Cumberland County court records show that she was charged with speeding in August of this year along Rose Hill Road, in a different part of the road, about 3 miles from where the recent accident happened. Documents say on Saturday, August 2nd, Monroe was going 51 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. Monroe's mom would not comment about the speeding ticket her daughter received in August.
Okay. So, I don't know, because You know, they said it's a single car, wasn't no other skid marks but theirs or something like that. But my thing is, she just had got a ticket in August. So that would leads me to believe that it's really nothing but to tell me that she was speeding again. And then they said, according to how the cars were, that car was, and the way those boys had seatbelts on, but then was pushed out of the car, that's excessive speed. Okay. But my thing is, I don't know, was it an argument broke out in there? Was it dating one of them? What was it? You know, I don't know what was going on. But what I do know is in this picture, she has fatigues on, okay? And it says that she was a veteran, okay, at 21 years old. Says she was a she was a veteran in the military. So that means she was out. Did she get an honorable discharge or dishonorable discharge? But what we do know, at the age of 21, she was no longer in the service, okay? But she did serve her country. Salute to her for that. So she did do that. But my thing is, people, we have to tell our kids to watch who she 21, was one of them dating her, sometimes, high school dudes in the 12th grade, they got a female about 2-3 years older than them. They think they hot shot, they doing something because they with an older female and things like that. But sometimes, you have to slow your roll and talk to your kids' family for real, because I'm asking these questions about her, because if the story was turned around and if it was a black male who was driving recklessly with 3 females in it, all hell been broke loose. Oh, they would have been talking about, y'all need to charge him, y'all need to put him in jail. I know that he up there and he in critical condition, but if I tell you, if he make it out of there, he need to do time for all 3 of them girls now. But I'm not feeling that same type of energy when it comes to the female and the 3 males losing their life. I mean, I've always been even. Okay? That's one thing everybody know about Cafe. I don't pick no sides. Ain't nobody better than the other one. And that's why I ask questions about her. Was she dating one of them? Did an argument break out in there? She speeding? Lose control of the car? All these 3 promising football players are gone? What really went down in that car? But see, then everybody don't like for me to question that. But if it was a male who did it with 3 females, everybody got a lot to say. They ain't trying to find no excuse for the matter, none of that. But when it's a female, I do hear people try to bring up excuses. I wonder if somebody else ran them off the road. I wonder if she had a slowed down, this wouldn't have never happened, because it's obviously 2 months ago she got a ticket for speeding. And they said the way the shape of these cars were, her car was in, that's excessive speeding. It was only one car. So people tell your family members to stop speeding. I understand somebody get a ticket for running a light, speeding and things like that. We just have to learn from those experiences and do better, because when you have people in the car with you, you have passengers in the car with you. Everyone in that car is dependent on the driver to get them back home safe or get them to where they're going safe. Yeah, I knew a lot of people was going to click off after I said that because, see, they don't like to hear truth. No, she don't get no pass from Cafe. No, she don't. Just like if she was a black male, she wouldn't have got no pass. My thing is, people slow down because everybody in your car, if you're driving, the passengers depend on that driver to be responsible. They are dependent on that driver to get them where they need to go safely. Now, if you're in there by yourself and you want to cut a buck fool on the interstate and highways and byways, that's you. You ain't got nobody else in the car with you. But when you got people in the car with you, people have to think. It's not all about you. It's about the people who's in there with you too. Rest in peace to those young men. Wow. 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 Now, let me say this right quick because they did have this hot on the press about all these big numbers that's on ICE, but I do want to talk about this because they are saying that these Venezuela gangs and these illegal gangs and all these other type of gangs that come from other countries and stuff is here in the United States. Now, they said that a lot of them are mad at ICE because ICE has interrupted their plan. Okay, now that's what the reports and word is out here. Okay, said that these big illegal gang criminals, the hardcore criminals, say they are mad at the fact that ICE has interrupted their gig because their plan was to most likely to take over New York City, Illinois, and Los Angeles and Colorado. They saying that their plan was if they could take over these 4 cities, these big cities, major cities, then they'll have no problem taking over the rest of the states in the United States. Okay, so they said that's why they are real pissed about ICE coming in there, bum rushing and getting a lot of these people up out of here. Okay, now as we know, they do take over apartment buildings. And as you see, armed takeover at apartment complex, okay? You will see them, they be going in, people, you see them hacking, chopping down doors and all that stuff. So this is just not in one, it's not just in Illinois, it's in New York, it's in LA, it's in Colorado, all that stuff, okay? They are taking over and they are mad that ICE is taking over and putting them behind bars and shipping them back to where they come from because now ICE is interrupting the plan that they already had in place. Okay. Now, this is the word. I'm just giving y'all a word. So you remember when they had went into these apartment buildings and they getting all these hardcore criminals with the tattoos all on their necks and all that stuff. See, all that represents their gang. Now they say that they have $2,000 on intelligent gathering and agent doxing. So they're going to pay people $2,000 to dox agents, the government, and all that stuff. This is how serious they are. These criminals, illegal gang criminals, this is how serious they are about staying here and taking over the U.S. certain cities first, okay? And they are mad that they are being interrupted in taking over these large cities. They say once they take over the large cities, they ain't worried about the other states in the United States, okay? But the thing is, ICE done came in and bum rushed that plan, okay? So they said, okay, this is how serious we are. And they got 5,000 to 10,000 to kidnap or assault on ICE or CPB officers. Okay, so they all got awards out. Yes, they got awards out and said this is what they want. They want to you know, yeah, they want to do this to the government officials, law enforcement and stuff. Then they said, hey, you get up to $50,000 if you what? A sister, y'all know what that is, a high-ranking official. Okay, so they got this out because they serious. They don't like the fact that they being pushed up out of here because now their plan is going to poops. Okay, they said no, we want to stay here because y'all messing up our plan to take over y'all states and cities. And now that ICE done bust in there to get rid of them, oh, they cutting the book, which tells me that furthermore, they doing, now this is hostile here. What y'all see on that screen, I ain't making it up. Y'all reading it for yourself. It's been all over the news, been everywhere, okay? Is that this is what they got for law enforcement and ICE. Because this is how bad they want to stay here and take over. Yes, they not feeling it. They not feeling it. No, they not. They not feeling it. See this right here? They not feeling it. They won't take over. This is what they've been doing. Okay? Y'all see right here? They not playing with them. And my thing is, why they throwing their flag around and they on our soil? Look at here. They ain't playing with them. They said they want heads. They want heads. Y'all remember when they tried to bum rush ICE? Now, see, my thing is, I knew that these protesters looked real hostile, okay? And my thing is, now we see why, because it's a lot of money behind this. And it's a lot of people that is interrupting their plan to take over cities and states in the United States. I knew it was something. It looked real weird. It did. And now we see why it's looking real weird. Okay. So that's a lot of the commotion. Then you will see it says right here, DHS statement is saying that this incident is not isolated and reflects a growing and dangerous trend of illegal immigrants violently resisting arrest, agitators, and criminal ramming cars into our law enforcement. So when we see the cars ramming into the law enforcement, and when we see them trying to swing sticks and bricks and all that stuff at ICE and local law enforcement and all that, well, now we know. It says it right here. If y'all do that, you get $2,000. If you do this, you get 5,000 to 10,000. Then if you go a step higher and do this, you get 50,000. Yeah. So now we see what the plan is allegedly what they are saying the plan was to take over. And that's why you see so much going on in New York, Illinois, Colorado, LA, but most of those are sanctuary cities. And I think they have gotten above their head and didn't realize by letting so many illegal immigrants in that the mass majority of them were gang members, hardcore gang members. And what they didn't know is those gang members already had planned to take over those cities that they go to. And once they can get the large cities up under their control, the other parts of the United States that have smaller states wouldn't have a chance. So now we're seeing that money is being exchanged around through this joint. And that's why it's looking so hella, the protests are so hella, vicious. Yeah. Now we see. It ain't all about, we just want to stay here. We want to stay here because we like eating bread and pork chops and rice and stuff like that too. No. Y'all see there on the screen is much deeper than that. It was an undercover takeover. And now they mad that ICE is disrupting that plan. And so now that's why it's like that. Because I'm like this, okay, why go this far if everything is legit? Why put this type of money on law officials' head if everything is legit? But what you don't hear is a lot of politicians talking about this. They're just saying, oh, you know, those are peaceful protesters, which I know my eyes don't lie. Now, they might could tell other people anything. They might could tell everybody else in the world anything they want to do, and they might fall for the okie doke. You can't make me fall for the okie doke when I'm looking at my TV and seeing somebody swing hell out of one of those law enforcement and then ram into their car trying to knock them off a bridge. And you're going to tell me that's peaceful? But see, luckily, I'm educated enough to know that when I see stuff like that, you can't make me think that that's a peaceful thing. Yeah. Now, you know what the crazy part is while all this mess is going down, meanwhile, in Chicago, where a lot of this mess is out of control, have been out of control for weeks now, and Illinois is $38.1 billion in debt. And on top of that, old boy here is at the blackjack table gambling in Vegas. What? Man, you got a $38.1 billion deficit and then a $2.5 billion that you done handed over to illegal migrants or migrants. You ain't gave the black community nothing. You don't really care about that. Then you dumped all the hardcore illegal criminals over in the black neighborhood. And then he got the nerve to jump on a plane and go to Vegas and play blackjack. And he won $1.4 million on the blackjack table. We got to do better. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Now it explains why Tiffany Henyard and Kamal and all them was over there in Vegas gambling. Hell, that's the new trend over there. Yes. A hot mess. As y'all see, the governor won $1.4 billion. Yeah. I said, no, he didn't. Say, yes, he did, honey. He won $1.4 billion over there. And he was on that blackjack table. And it came out on his taxes. Yes. See, he had to file it in his taxes. He had to file that earning in his latest tax filing after playing blackjack at a Las Vegas casino. Boy, while Chicago is sinking in quicksand. Anyway, and New York spent $3.75 billion on immigrants. Lord have mercy, we got to do better. Diddy, let me tell y'all, because y'all remember I was supposed to tell y'all that when we did the live, that Diddy's probation is tighter than a little pair of shoes on your feet, okay? That you've been walking all day in some two little ass shoes. That's just how tight his probation is. When he do get out, he have those 5-year probation, and boy, is it ain't nothing to play with. So when Diddy get out of there, it says that, I don't know if Diddy gonna make this, but it says when he get out, Combs will be under supervision release for 5 years. The document says he will be required to attend regular meetings with his probation officer and refrain from that toxic street candy with a toxic street candy test he got to do within 15 days after his release and 2 periodic tests after that time frame. Okay. So he got to take all those toxic candy tests. And then they said that Diddy also will have to participate in an outpatient program that includes testing, an outpatient mental health treatment program, and an approved program for DV, according to the 7-page filing. Okay. Yeah. So Diddy got to do a lot. And then on top of that, Diddy, his probation officer, hold on. His probation officer says here that Diddy probation officer will be allowed to drop in on him unannounced at any time. So at any time they can come and see about Diddy and see if he's following all rules like he's supposed to follow. And he must live at a location approved by the probation department. He must submit to a search of himself as well as his property, resident vehicle, paper, computer, and cell phone, but only when there is reasonable suspicion that he has violated a condition of his release. Okay. Diddy also cannot own or possess any type of pow weapon. None of that right there. Okay. He will be required to work at least 30 hours a week. Yes. And he is forbidden to communicate with anyone involved in criminal activity. So they asked Diddy's lawyer, do they have any comment? And they said they don't have no comments at this time. But they was like, man, those are some strict rules Diddy is up under. And they was like, yeah, they are strict. But I don't know if Diddy gonna make that or not. I hope he do when he gets out. But my thing is this. Hopefully he is be close to 60 when he get out. Hopefully he act like and just sit his ass down and act like a 60-year-old wise man and stay out of trouble for the rest of his life. Because they ain't playing with Diddy. Point blank, period. That's how I feel. I hope he sit down and act like a wise man, but then again, you just never know. You just never know. So, I'm going to see what y'all have to say. And let me see. Yeah, not make all that. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Ain't it, TS? I don't think he going to make all that. Bad Bunny said he better just send paper notes. Not Bad Bunny said he better just send paper notes. Don't even mess with no type of electronics. I'm telling you. That's too funny. That is too funny. Let me see what else y'all got. Let me see what else y'all got on here. But if anybody want to call in, y'all can. Y'all can. If anybody want to call in right quick, y'all can. And I talk for a minute. Let me see. And our telephone number is 678-439-4517. Once again, it's 678-439-4517. That's if anybody want to call in to the show. But yes, that probation ain't no joke. I said I don't know. You might well stay in now and just do them extra 5 years up in there. I don't know, cause that's a lot. I have to say that is a lot. But if anybody want to talk about any of the subjects that we talked about today, y'all feel free to call. If not, we'll just wrap it up. Yes, we'll just wrap it up. If not. Yeah, if y'all want to talk about any of those subjects we talked about today, y'all can. Once again, it's 678-439-4517. Yes. And I'll give a few more minutes. And then we'll close out. We'll close out. But I appreciate, let me read some of y'all comments too. Weird Matter, salute. Bad Bunny. T-Some Tools, shout out. Tighter than little shoes. He said he was laughing at that. I'm telling you, that probation is tighter than two little shoes. Walking around in two little shoes on, man. That's some tight probation. Like, you might well stay in that homeboy, because I don't know if Diddy gonna pass all that for 5 years straight. I don't know. Weird Matter, salute. I don't know. Salute to everybody too. Just salute to all of y'all. Thank you all for y'all awesome support. Once again, special thanks to Darlene Chestnut for your donation today. It's greatly appreciated. We sending loves and hugs to you, Carmen X. Salute to all of y'all. Anybody have a question in the chat? Anybody have any questions in the chat? EZAP. Salute. Edward. Salute. Captain USA. Salute. Yes, salute to y'all all. Sending loves and hugs to every last one of y'all. Really are. So we're gonna close it out, family, and y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all Sunday. Shout out to y'all all. Thank you, TS, and thank you, LCL. Thank y'all so much, moderators in the house, boy. Y'all sure enough be on it, and then y'all as well. So, just thank y'all for that. Okay. So, but anyway, sending loves and hugs to you all. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Y'all have a great weekend. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well if you are not a subscriber to the channel. Sending love and hugs to all the moderators, TS, LCL. Sending love to everyone in the chat. Love, hugs to all our viewers, to all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for the awesome support. It is so greatly appreciated. Yes, TS, and please hit that like button. It's so greatly appreciated. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Yeah. Bye, y'all.